okay? And that's why Google called their algorithm update in October last year the Hummingbird update, because they're fast and accurate. And in fact, Matt Cutts at Google said Google want relevant, unique, helpful content produced regularly. Helpful, unique, relevant content produced regularly, okay? This is really, really important. So this is kind of support to the fact that the idea of helpful marketing is a good marketing strategy. You see, we are who Google says we are. It's kind of a scary, kind of big brothery statement, but think about this from the context of you, the consumer, not the business owner, just the bloke or lady in the street who's out there buying things. We Google stuff. And the more high involvement the purchase, the more likely we are to Google it, okay? If you're not on page 1 of Google, do you exist? We are who Google says we are. And the simple Google equation, and there's much bigger brains in this room to explain the algorithm than little old Timmy Wimmy up front here. However, Google want the internet to be interesting. They just want the internet to be interesting. And as website owners, they say, hey, listen, make the website interesting. Make the internet interesting. And as a result, make your website interesting. Put helpful content on there that's relevant and unique, and do it often. Bring more people to your website. Have them stay longer. And that means we, Google, can sell more advertising. Okay? Simple equation. And if you do that for us, Google, then we'll help you with your rankings. Yes, there's some techie, geeky stuff that you need to do in terms of metadata and all other stuff. And again, there's people in this room that you can interrogate about that later on. Suffice to say that make your website interesting with helpful data, helpful information, and Google are going to reward you for it. I kind of, who hasn't updated their website in the last 6 months? Steve-o, don't do that to me. Just do that. Was there any hands that went up? This is a unique room, and I kind of expected that. If you had to put your hand up, I would have accused you of having a smelly pond. Smelly pond is stagnant water, yeah? No one goes near stagnant water, smelly ponds, and that's what so many small business owners' websites are. Google stop going near it. You stop updating it with useful content, Google have no reason to continue to index it, to find things to rank. So this is how Google works. So strong argument for creating helpful content is that the big G ask us to do that. There's many, many other reasons, which I don't have time to go into. Suffice to say that it creates word of mouth, okay? I speak to a lot of small businesses. Yeah, word of mouth is the best marketing I do. Word of mouth's not marketing. Word of mouth's the result of great marketing, having a great product, having a great service. Likewise, word of mouth isn't necessarily marketing, but it's the outcome of creating great marketing, having a great business. If you create helpful content like the stuff I'm going to show you today, then you are going to be shared. So think about it. Create marketing that people want to share. I worked at Clemenger's for 10 years, and I worked at Flight Centre as the marketing manager, created ads. I was creating ads for Dulux and Gillette, even Yellow Pages, which is quite funny because I hate Yellow Pages, but that's another story. But, you know, I created ads for big brands. No one ever said, hey, Timbo, that ad you created for Dulux, God, can I email that to my mates? It was a ripper. Didn't happen. Did not happen. But now I'm creating helpful content, have been creating helpful content for 5 years or so, and people do want to share it. People do actively, involuntarily share it and comment and do all that kind of stuff. I've even got a university in South Africa and a university in Canada who have bought helpful content off me and put it on their curriculum, okay? So all of a sudden this amazing leverage happens. The other great thing about helpful content is it gets inquiry. You know, that's the bottom line. We're all business owners. We want inquiry. We want the phone to ring. And great marketing does that. So once you've got helpful content and you're generating inquiry, people are coming into your shop, they're ringing you, they're emailing you, they're hitting you up somewhere saying, hey, can we work together? That's when you know your helpful marketing's working and your sales process needs to kick into position. Let's go through some examples of helpful content. This is River Pools and Spas in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, they're an in-ground pool company. They build fiberglass pools. They're the biggest fiberglass pool installer in North America. In 2007, they were spending $250,000 on advertising and getting $4 million of sales. Okay, in 2011, they spent $20,000 on helpful marketing and increased their sales per annum by $500,000. So drop in expenses, increase in sales. One of the game changers for these guys was Pool 101. Very, very simple addition to their nav bar, Pool 101, where they just went out and asked their prospects and their customers and their staff, what are the most frequently asked questions that people ask us when getting an in-ground pool built? Okay, that's all we want to know, and we're going to be the business, the people that answer that question. Someone in your industry has got to be the one who's going to be most helpful. It may as well be you, right? And these guys have put their hand up in North America to say, we're going to be the most helpful fiberglass pool installers. So they put in Pool 101, and the most frequently asked question when getting a fiberglass pool installed is, how much is it going to cost? Pretty obvious. So let's create a page on our website, says Riverside Pools, that answers that question in depth, in video, in words, in pictures. And this page gets an incredible amount of views. It ranks incredibly well on Google, number 1 on Google in North America for how much do in-ground pools costs. And as a result, it gets people into their website, and the average amount of page views for this business is 19. And then when the phone goes at Riverside Pools, these people are 60% sold. They're pretty much sold that they're going to buy a pool from Riverside. They've just got some additional details that I want to speak to someone about. This is not brain surgery, you know, like this is just beautifully, beautifully simple marketing where you go, well, let's solve problems. As marketers, every single one of us should be solving the problems of our clients and our prospects. The bottom line with helpful marketing is it's about selling more by selling less. And as business owners, there's that anxiety that's always there that we just feel like we want to sell, sell, sell. Would you just buy from me? My product or service is really good, but of course as consumers, that's not how we think. We want to be sold to, we don't want to be sold to, we want to be kind of wooed, if you like. So it's about selling more by selling less. It's about teaching and not pushing. Okay, it's a really different mindset. It's a really enjoyable mindset. And when you realise the mountain of knowledge that you're standing on and start sharing it, that's when your marketing becomes a hobby.